thank you for clicking in on this video. So today I spent 6.5 hours playing against the chess bots on chess.com, and I fought all of these different people, and I have crushed them all. However, I was not recording audio during that entire session on Twitch, so I was not able to use the footage. So I wanted to go through each individual game. I wanted to show you how I played, and then afterwards I want to show you the evaluation of the games. So I think I'm going to do each person individually, so one person per video. I'll probably link their names in the title. We're going to start off with Martin. So I'm going to move to a new tab here. Oh no. Focus mode, I don't want you to see. Alright, so this was a game against Martin. Not my arrow keys work. I was white and he was black. So I started off with d4, classic. So he started with the knight. I think this is called the Alekhine's defense, or it might be called something different, but we'll review it afterwards, because the engine knows better than I would. So when I saw this, I was just like, well, no, sir. You can't do that. You can't put your knight there if there's a pawn that's going to march down and tell you to move. Excuse the squeaking. So he moves the knight. I think this is a theory move. So I was going to follow the theory of the Alekhine's defense, and that means tell the knight to move again. So the knight moves again, and so the bishop is protecting, so I'm not concerned about that. So from what I know from the theory, you now put another pawn in the center, and now I've got this really nice big center, you know? I don't think that was the move. I think this might have been the move, but I'm not entirely sure. So he goes like this, and so I was considering, this is a free pawn, I didn't miss it, but I saw that this knight does not have any squares, so I wanted to boot the knight one more time. So that was the plan there. Okay, so the opponent saw it, and he decided to sacrifice it on his own terms, I suppose. So I took it, no problem. Alright, so he launches back in the center. I'm a bit sad that the evaluation bar isn't here. I was hoping that it would be here. So he launches out like this, but I cannot even begin to tell you what this move does, because my bishop's looking at that. Okay, but I didn't even take with the bishop, which is funny. I guess the instinct was to take with the bishop, that way I had like another active piece, but I suppose that what I was concerned about was that he was going to do this anyway. So so what would happen, I suppose, if it didn't happen like that? If I took with the bishop, and the bishop is here, and then he says this, and then I take, and then he takes, and the knight is protecting. So I think I didn't want to deal with that, so I said I'm going to take with pawn in this instead. And it also gets this rook available, and so the queen can't use this later on. Okay, so he's just like, okay, I'm feeling cramped up on the king's side, so I'm going to fight on the queen's side. And, I was just like, well, that pawn is still hanging, so I'm just going to take it, make sure that you can't, like, fortify it in any sort of way. So he checks me, which is something that people do need to look out for. But lucky for me, I have this knight move that defends and blocks. So I'm good. So he moves back. He is now attacking this pawn. So I just developed the knight. I wasn't overly concerned about keeping this pawn, but This knight also needed to be developed anyway, so I felt like it was a pretty good move. So, well, what would you play if you saw this move? That's what I played too. So, now he is, I guess he is, well, I don't know what this does. Too many queen moves in the opening, not supposed to do that. So, I developed the last piece simply because it was the last piece, and there's also an attackable target. So, now he's got 2 pieces. And when I saw this move, I knew what he was going to do. I knew what he was going to do, but I didn't understand why he was going to do this. So, I strike back in the center, because this guy is pinned for 1 move. So, if takes, what was I planning here? I think I was trying to get this open, mostly so I could get the queen over there. I knew he was going to do this because I didn't see what else he was going to do, and but takes. I did not see this one coming at all. And I said, okay, well, if my knight, well, okay, no, actually, I didn't even say that. I said, checks, captures, attacks, and I checked him first. He moved. I wasn't expecting this either. Martin kept surprising me this game because I didn't know what he was going to do at any point. So, I know that I left the knight to hang, but the knight took the queen, so, you know, it already collected enough interest, you know, so I wasn't too concerned about that. I don't know exactly what I had planned, though. I think I didn't want him to go here, but what am I aiming for? There isn't really anything here, I guess. Or maybe I just forgot about the knight. No, that's right. I was attacking this. Ha ha ha. That's what I was doing. I saw that the rook needed the defender, and I didn't want him to put his bishop here, so I took control of his diagonal before he could take control of that diagonal. He didn't even take the knight, and I don't, well, he didn't do anything about this situation either. So, the rook was worth more than the knight. Didn't do anything about the bishop. So, with check, getting that square ready, I made Monster Reborn, a new queen. It's only now that I see that I had this move. I didn't even see that in the game, I don't think. Otherwise, I might have considered doing that. Chase the king out, get the bishop, or maybe that's probably why I did that. Check again. King runs away. Check again. It's blocked. I take it with the bishop. And mate. So, good opening knowledge. Let you exploit your opponent's positional missteps. So, I will look at the game review now. I'm going to close this down. So here's the game review, and I'm pleased to say that I played at a 93.5% accuracy. Martin somehow played at a 78.5% accuracy, which I don't understand because I felt like he was just throwing pieces at me. So, no brilliant moves, unfortunately. No great moves. 16 of the best moves you ever saw. 7 excellent moves, 2 good moves, and 2 book moves. But I had 1 miss. Played at a strength of 1500. He played at a strength of 400, which is pretty impressive for you. Not bad. Oh, I don't even have to do all of them. But the opening had 95.1%, so pretty good. Alright, so that was Martin. I guess I will end the video and get ready for the next one.